Hello everyone, DonTheCrown here, and I want to make a quick video talking about how to progress in the end game of Borderlands 4, simply because when I first got through the campaign and the first introductory quests, I wasn't really sure what the heck to do to progress up through the Ultimate Vault Hunter tiers. Now, if you're not already aware, this game pretty much has a end game difficulty rating called UVH, or Ultimate Vault Hunter. This has 5 different ranks. Ultimate Vault Hunter 1 is pretty easy to unlock. Pretty much once you just finish the campaign, keep following the kind of main campaign quests, and this will get you completely unlocked. But progressing up to 2, 3, 4, and 5 is a little bit harder to figure out. So I want to do a video kind of showing how to do that. Now, as you see on these here, you do get more enemy health, more damage taken, a little bit more cash, XP. It's not really clear how much more loot you get or how much elemental affinities matter more here. If that stacks up, that's also here on hard. Elemental affinities matter more and loot quality is increased. So, it pretty much looks the same. And I haven't necessarily, I do feel like the loot maybe does get a little bit better, but I haven't done 100 kills on a boss or something to figure out exactly how much more, if any, there is. But pretty much once you unlock Ultimate Vault Hunter 1, and obviously some story spoilers here, you're going to find yourself at Moxxi's bottom up, and you'll be able to do a wildcard mission from Lilith. Lilith will always be standing here. However, on the map, she will only ever be marked with this wildcard mission giver when she has a quest that will progress your Ultimate Vault Hunter status. It will never show up at any other time, and these will only ever show up when you're at your highest Ultimate Vault Hunter. And so if you're unlocked Ultimate Vault Hunter 3, but you're chilling on 1 for whatever reason, you will not be able to do these wildcard missions. And these are different here than what you'll see in the bottom left-hand corner. This is the wildcard mission of the week. This one is always set and just changes, I believe, every single week. And this is not the same thing. So you do have access to this, but you have to do other things. And the things you have to do is pretty easy to find once you know where to look for it in challenges. You go to Ultimate Vault Hunter here. If you hover over here, you see you have to do Zane's firmware mission, Moxxi's mission, Maurice's mission, and then Lilith's wildcard mission, Ultimate Vault Hunter 1. And then we need to start killing bosses in Ultimate Vault Hunter level 1. And there's 4 bosses we want to kill. Now, the first boss you want to go and do is up here, and it is called Bramble Song. And to do this, you just have to go through the Bittervein Abandoned Auger Mine. And so you're just gonna go and teleport up here or something, and just go run to this spot on the map. Just go through kind of a wall, and just go through the whole mine. It's pretty easy to do and not really all that bad of a boss. The next one is probably the most annoying to unlock, because you're gonna need to do Biothresher Omega, which is down here in the middle of Dominion. And in order to unlock this, you have to do 2 quests first that both start right here at Lakeside Properties. And they are 1 gassy issue and 1 slimy issue. This will probably take you maybe 40 minutes maybe. But basically this takes you all around the place here, picking up stuff for this lady, and then you unlock the boss. The next boss is probably the most annoying in terms of how to get to. I'm actually going to show off exactly how to get directly to this boss, mostly because when I was trying to get this boss done for myself the first time, and for the first 2 takes of this video, I actually got lost on my way there. So I want to show you guys how to get there quickly. Okay, so we teleported, and then we're just going to hop on out here. I'm just going to fly on over. And the reason why this boss is kind of difficult to find really is just because I don't think this level design is really all that good for rerunning. When you're going through the campaign, it's pretty solid because the quest's already telling you kind of where to go, and it's really easy to kind of go the right direction. But when you're rerunning the region, you are much more inclined to get lost here. And yeah. So yeah, pretty much just gonna hop through here. If you're wondering how I can dash so much, that just comes from clearing out all of the mini vaults for the region. Those give you kind of more and more stuff We're gonna go right up to this elevator here, and it's really important to go straight ahead. During the campaign, you go like over here, I believe. And if you do that, you're just gonna end up in a dead end. So we're just gonna go take this elevator. You know, only room for one. And we're gonna be careful here not to fall off this edge, because if you fall down, I don't believe there's a way to call the elevator back down to the basement, which is kind of a pain in the butt. Now, next we're going to come into this room over here. And this room has two exits, one on the left and one on the right. If you take the one on the left, you go to a dead end. If you go to the right, you go to the boss. So obviously we're going to go to the boss here. Now, a lot of the times when you go to these bosses, you're going to want to walk right up to the Moxie's thing and just activate it. This will just make the boss be activated when you go into the room. Like so. Bio bulkhead drops down, and easy peasy, you just fight them and you get your loot. Okay. Easy peasy, you just fight them, you get your loot. Oh, come here, big guy. So once they're dead, obviously loot hits the ground. You can continue to reset the boss if you want. One thing to note, when you are doing these endgame bosses, there is always going to be a loot chest at the end right before the reset thing. And you do want to keep an eye out for this. It's really, really easy to miss it. And I feel like I get half of my legendaries out of the red chest. Some spots even have a secondary chest here, and all of these will reset. If you want to do the boss again, you just press V, go through here. And once you go through the little teleporter, this is pretty much doing like a soft reset of the zone. And then we just go back up, reactivate the encore machine like so, and then the boss will be ready to be fought once more. And pretty much this is just really easy to do. As long as you're like picking up loot and selling it, you can pretty much just fight bosses infinitely. It's pretty darn simple. Now, the next boss that we're going to be looking at here is going to be called the Sydney Pointy Legs. And they're actually located over here, pretty much just at one of the drill sites. And so you can just go and like teleport to the town, the launch pad, and just like work your way over there. Pretty much just like once you're just killing a whole bunch of rippers, they will be able to, you know, you'll be able to fight this big boss. It's just like a mechana scorpion with like a giant head on it, which is kind of creepy. And then once you complete all of those missions there, you will unlock the next Ultimate Vault Hunter mission. So it's Lilith's Rush the Gate wildcard mission. I believe this is where you go fight Idolater Soul. And so each one of them is going to be like progressively difficult for the Vault Hunter missions. And the last one does have you go and fight the, you know, the final boss of the campaign. Now for Ultimate Vault Hunter 2, the very first location is going to be up here at Whistler's Mall. And this boss is pretty much the, you know, in the cave here. And this is currently the big encore boss. So Shadow Pelt is its name. And you don't necessarily have to fight them under the big encore mode if you don't want to. But this is kind of like where that boss is. Next up is Core Observer. And he's over here in the Fade Fields. And pretty much this is going to be the first order bunker that we're going to go and do. And order bunkers are pretty much kind of just like a research lab type of thing. But typically each of the doors has a little like seal on top of it that you have to break by finding some of the locust stuff nearby. And then once you just go through, it's really easy to go and clear these out. Next up, we're going up north and we're going to go get Rockin' Rollin'. This guy I believe is in the Trinket Crevasse here, and go down here to Rockin' Roller. Pretty much just go through another abandoned auger mine, and then the last one is another drill site all the way down here in the south, Foundry Freaks, and you just go and kill these guys up. One of the guys here is called Frank the Furnace, and you go kill him. And then once again, you'll have another mission from Lilith over at Moxie's Bottom Up for you to go and complete, and pretty easy to go and do. Next, we have to go and do Battle Wagon. This is a drill site up here. And this drill site is right over here. Moxie's, you know, the big encore here for the Battle Wagon. It's pretty much just a big elephant that comes out with a whole bunch of elites on it. This is actually a pretty good place to farm. This is where I got a lot of XP. This guy has some decent loot as well. Pretty easy boss, I think. Next up, we're going to go down to do another order bunker. And this one's like located pretty much like very close to this safe house here. You have to kind of drop down. And there's like this little area you have to climb through over here in order to get the locust gas. And so tipping point here, you're just going to run through there. And then we're going to go to the old scrape. And that is right up here. So we have the meathead riders. This one, guys, kind of interesting. I've had a little bit of issues with this particular boss with grenades that can like push bosses around because it is like a ripper who is riding another ripper like piggyback. You have to kill like kind of the guy who's carrying first. And for some reason, sometimes the guy who's riding piggyback just gets knocked off and then just evaporates into nothing. But that's a bug, and I'm pretty sure hopefully they will get that fixed. Lastly, we're going to go up here and do one more mine up here, and we're going to go kill the skull orchid. And this mine I think was pretty easy as well. And after that, you're ready to go and go do another mission with Lilith over here at the Moxie's bottom up. So that should bring you to Vault Hunter 4. And this is where it kind of starts to get difficult, because from this point forward, you're only going to be doing these vaults. And so in order to unlock vaults, what you need to go and do is go into every single region and unlock every single order silo. Order silos will basically unlock a little area, a circle, where there, potentially is a piece of a vault key. And then you have to find all 3 of these keys. And relatively, this is easy to do, not all that bad. There are guides for exactly where they are online if you need help with that. But once you do find the keys, you can go and find the vaults. And so you have to first unlock them in the overworld. Here's where the Radix one is, the one down here for each like major zone. So like this area down here has, a vault. This area over here has a vault. And then this area over here also has a vault. This one was a little bit difficult to find because you kind of have to jump up. So I'll show this one real quick. Okay, so the trick to getting into this particular vault is that although it looks like it's here, that you don't want to try to go through here because this doesn't really work. And what you want to do instead is set your sights on this augur shrine over here. So you can go to Heritage Opus, drive north, and we're going to go to this shrine, which is right there. And so what you just have to do is just go like, jump off your little mount and hop over there, and you're pretty much good to go. You can obviously go and do the shrine while you're here. Let's go and interact with it. It will give you a little bit of a power up thing. And we just go into the tunnel here, and ta-da, one big vault door. If you try to go like this or any other way, I don't think it works at all. I don't think you can possibly get above it here and drop down. This is really kind of the only way to easily get into this vault. And then once you've cleared all 3 of the kind of overworld vaults here, you're going to have a series of kind of grueling quests from Lilith to pretty much go through each of those vaults again, but this time just for like special missions. And some of them have some pretty annoying modifiers on them, but you have to go into each one of the vaults once again, so 3 more vaults, and then you're gonna go fight the final boss of the campaign, the Timekeeper, and that'll put you into tier 5 if you would. This will also unlock this particular customization for your Vault Hunter. I believe this style is called Beyond the Veil, and unfortunately this can't be colored in any way, shape, or form. It's always just going to be this like bluish kind of color, but it does look pretty cool. And then you'll be able to play at the hardest difficulty of the game. Whether or not that's worth farming is maybe a different video, but hopefully this video helped you out. Let me know what kind of content you want to see in the future, and have a good one. Oh, by the way, for this particular whole run, I was able to unlock Ultimate Vault Hunter 5 with my build. I have like a build guide down in the description below. The only really big thing I changed is switching to a grenade that kind of looks like one of these. One of these like throwing knife grenades I think are very, very strong towards the end game, especially because these are significantly less likely to kill you from bouncing around. Like when you throw one of these, it kind of just like hits whatever you target at, does a ton of damage and leaves a few grenades behind. Meanwhile, if you're throwing like one of these grenades where it shoots off a ton of extra grenades, and hunter seekers can be really scary. You can very easily knock yourself down with these. And so I just prefer the throwing knives, especially towards endgame, especially towards bosses. It just feels like they do a lot more damage, especially because they can do critical strike damage when hitting weak points. And it's really easy to click on a lot of bosses' heads in this game. This is pretty much the build. Check the description down below if you want to see that guide. I hope you guys have a good one. We'll see you again soon. Later.